Today is day 98. The chickens, are 14 weeks old today. This is their 14th week birthday. And let me get this on here. Here we go. All right, we have the food and the water ready. Let's let the ladies out. Just gonna hold this because I can't get it properly. I'm afraid I'll... No, you don't want to come out yet. No. Get your food. There you go. That was unusual. There we go. See, I didn't have a good grip on this. I didn't want to let go until they all came out. There we go. December 14th. It says it's 32 degrees. Whoop, that's right. I put this down here because the wind was so bad. It was just knocking it everywhere. So I said, fine, we'll leave it on the ground. Oh yeah, okay. 36 degrees. Yeah. Look at all the snow. No, we're not coming out yet. She's like, why not? You're leaving the door open. That's true. That's true. My bad. There we go. I was having a problem with the canopy yesterday with all the wind. I mean, it was just... I thought it was going to rip off. So I just knocked the snow off of that and walked over here to find all this yellow in the snow. Maybe there's something underneath it that is turning it yellow. Okay. There are leaves there. Learn something new every day. Because I was like, what in the world? Oh, I see it's on here too. There's a bunch of leaves here. Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense. I was like, what in the world is that? Yeah, it's over here too. See? It's wherever there are leaves. Oh. Oh my gosh. The portable chicken run. Blue all the way over there. It's actually on its side. Wow. Okay. I didn't think that would be a thing. I mean, the wind was pretty bad, but it actually blew over the chicken run that has mesh on it. Why is that even a thing? Let's see if I can pick this up and hold my phone. Oh yeah. See, that's how light it is. I literally lifted it with one hand and my foot and toppled it over. Okay, so I guess when it's really windy, this is on a little slope. So, wow, okay. And not only that, it was over here. You see this board? That was over here because this board was holding open the door. So it obviously what happened is it scooted over with the wind and then flipped over on its side. And it must have happened, I don't know, shortly after I went to bed or a couple hours after I went to bed because the wind got 22 miles an hour. And this was covered in snow on this one side quite a bit, just as much as on the ground. So, all right, I'm going to let them be for a couple hours. Then I will open the door to the kennel. And then if I take them out, it's not going to be until about probably 2 when it's the warmest part of the day, which is still not very warm. I was going to give this... Really? Seriously? I was going to give this butternut squash to them in the big kennel, but it's raining all around the edges, so...
I looked out here about 30 minutes ago and they were running back and forth in the kennel, so I thought I would come and let them out. Did you decide it's cold? Yeah, you're shivering. It was doing a lot of snowing last night while I was sleeping, and obviously this cover does not protect from snow because, well, it floats, right? You know, there's a little snow in there and a little snow here. I think it was a good idea to leave this board. I had thought about removing it, but I knew it was going to snow. And all of this snow would have been in there, so. All right. I'm going to take a peek in here before I let them out. Hello. Hello, how are you? Okay. Yesterday, it was so cold. Let me knock my snow off. I don't need to bring any more in here than's already's in here. I think I already knocked some in. That was good. I'm not going to bring any in. Oh, yes I am. Oh, dang it. And then I bring all this snow in. Okay. Anyway, the water froze quite a bit yesterday, so I had to bring out new water a couple times. All right, let me get the food here. Okay, maybe. Oh, come on. There we are. You get to see all my clumsiness. Okay. All right, so there's no snow in here. Good. I did not turn the heater on. It's 35 degrees in there. They keep it pretty warm. Once I close that little door, and they're in there heating it up. There. Okay, come on out. Good morning. You gonna come out? Slow moving. Just taking a look at everybody's feet. And sometimes a video is the best way. Although Spitfire, oh, there she is. But she only had one leg. Yeah, they're like, what are you doing? I'm trying to eat. She only has one leg. It is cold out. You know, they come out and they take a few bites, and then you get straw on your face. And then she eats a bunch of straw, because I don't know why. Yeah, there we go. She's one of the few that would let me do that. That is Miss Cloud. I don't know why she eats straw. Every morning she comes out here and eats a few bits of straw. Hi, Spitfire. How are you? You're ignoring me. If I put my hand down here and wiggle, she might not. Yeah, chug, chug, chug. She's not as friendly as she used to be. What I mean by that is if I try to pick her up, she often freaks out. She doesn't like me to try to pick her up. If I had to, I would. But she's also very heavy compared to picking up Miss Cloud, who's still a feather. Feathers. Several feathers. She's like a brick. Now, the ladies do not love it when I knock the snow off this roof. I've already knocked most of it off on this side. But all I do, before I would just like hit it. And I could do that, but that does freak them out. So I'm just going to take this and kind of push up and down. And it does make some noise. But they're not cheap. The first time I did it, they're like, what? It sounds like bombs going off. Okay. A little more. I'm not trying to get it all off. This is the bulk of the weight. All right. So what I've done is basically make it so it's not caved in so much. It was caved in quite a bit more because of the weight. I'll have to do that again several times. So now I'm going to rake some of this up just so it's bare dirt for them. So I just raked up this area earlier and it melted. And for the most part, they've stayed over here until just now. Now, I picked up Spitfire a little bit ago. I picked her up and I held her to me. She didn't like it, but I need her to get back into letting me do that. So I picked her up and I just held her and I walked around with her and then I let her down. Oh, that is like the first time I've ever seen her get up there. Oh, very, very good. Oh, uh-oh. What in the world? Okay, that's also a first. That, of course, it's Parkour Chick. We really don't want you on top of the coop. And up there, it's going to get more slippery, and she'll just fall. So I am going to try to get her down from here. Yeah, it's slippery, isn't it? You're going to fall. Okay. Now, I'm assuming I hope she's able to jump this far down and not hurt herself. I'm a little worried. No, going up there is worse. Come on down. Yeah, come down. Oh, all right, well, I'm going to come get you. Here I go. Nope. All right, now she's on me, which is fine. I can get much lower than the coop. Let's turn around here. Can you see her? Oh, hey. She's mad. How? Now that kind of hurts. Because it's my scalp under there. Hey, don't be nasty. Don't. She's being nasty. All right, well, I gotta get you down. There we go. I just start moving, and she's like, no, I don't like this. Yeah, that kind of hurt. It kind of hurt my scalp. Turkey. She was a turkey on day 1. What day is today? I'm gonna have to look. Okay, I just looked at the calendar. Believe it or not, today is day 100. Dun, dun, dun! Day 100 in the lives of 5 chicks. And we have Spitfire. We have Trinity. And this was Spitfire's first time that I've seen her on this. Do you like that? Right? Yeah. Maybe I gave her courage to jump up here by holding her for a couple minutes. Yeah, what do you think of that? She's like, no. You're going to poop right on there. Oh, Spitfire. That's a bad chicken. I'm going to have to clean that off. You going to go join the ladies? Maybe you should, so I can clean this off. Yeah. Thank you. So I don't know what's going on, but they're all very adventurous. And the next thing that's going to happen, they're going to go on that fence, and I'm going to have to call my neighbor. This is not a good plan, ladies. Once they do something, they will do it a lot. So I am not excited about this new development. Well, this is not turning out to be a very good adventure day. Spitfire didn't want me to hold her, but eventually did. I got a hold of Miss Cloud. She was okay, but then she's like, I want down. Everybody wanted down, which I understand. But then PK was on the top of the coop, and then Trinity was, and then Phoenix was. And to get Trinity down, she of course started flapping her wings all over the place as I was holding her. And Phoenix did as well, and then jumped on top of me, which was fine. But again, I then had, then she flew off of me. So this is just not the best outdoor adventure day. They're being very ornery. And quite frankly, they should feel lucky that I let them out. Yeah, lucky. Okay? Because I don't have to. And I actually don't need to. Like I've said before, the kennel is 6 feet by 10 feet. The actual coop run is 4 feet by 10 feet. I could literally never let them out if I didn't want to. But I like being able to let them, graze on the grass. But I'm not excited about them getting on the coop. That's troublesome. And eventually, the next step is they get up there and then they fly over onto that fence. They'll go over into the neighbor's yard. So I'm not excited about that. And I don't know if clipping their wings would prevent them from getting on the coop, because they can jump on here and then just jump up there. They don't really need their wings to do that. And I don't know if they'd need their wings to get from the coop to the fence. I don't know how cold their feet are at the moment, but one thing that I am doing, or a rule I've created for myself, is that when it's cold like this and wet, then I'm going to make sure they're back in their coop a couple of hours before they go to bed. That way their feet dry and anything else that might be wet will dry. They aren't wet. I'm looking at them, but their feet are. Yes. How are you, sweetie? Wiping your face on me. Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. She is very friendly. She's been friendly early on. And that's Miss Cloud that I'm talking about. The other one that's pretty friendly is Trinity. She's one of the Black Star. But she's been a little flighty the last couple days. It could just be the weather. But then again, Spitfire, the red one, was very friendly. And now she's like, I just want to be a chicken. Leave me alone, woman. Okay. It's okay, though. Really, I have to tell myself that. I don't need all 5 of them to be like Miss Cloud. But I don't want all 5 of them to be... I don't want them to be flighty either. And so far they aren't. They will come to me. And I can get them if I need to. So far. Well, they are adventuring out into the snow more. I don't know how long they're going to do this before they realize their feet are cold, because their feet fall down into the snow. It's just deep enough for that. Their feet are going to freeze off. Yeah, that's what I thought. See? They're like, this is BS. Why don't you go back in the kennel? Hmm? Yeah. Why don't you go back in the kennel? It's dry there. Yeah. Come on. Let's go in the kennel. Now, I might be able to shut this, but I don't know if I can get the other one shut fast enough. I did it! Okay, yeah. It's time for them to go inside and dry off their feet.